Gentlemen, it was late in April 1968 that I first heard of Pinkville and what allegedly happened there. I received that first report with some skepticism, but in the following months I was to hear similar stories from such a wide variety of people that it became impossible for me to disbelieve that something rather dark and bloody did indeed occur sometime in March 1968 in a village called Pinkville in the Republic of Viet Nam.
With this letter sent to leading members of Congress, America began to learn the truth about My Lai. Its author was an ex-GI who'd heard about the massacre while serving in Vietnam.
When I sat down with a friend who had been there 3 weeks after the massacre, and we were telling each other war stories, and we hadn't seen each other in 3 months, and I said, "What have you been doing?" He said, "What have you been doing?" He said, "Oh man, did you hear what we did at Pinkville?" I said, "No, what'd you do at Pinkville?" He said, "We went in there and we killed everybody." I said, "Killed everybody? What do you mean?" He said, "We just shot them, lined them up and shot them down. 300, 400, 500 people, I don't know how many." And my immediate reaction was, you know, these no good sons of bitches. Look what they've gotten me into, look what they've gotten us all into. They left me now with a choice to turn in my friends or to be a part of this horrible crime. And I'm not going to be a part of this horrible crime. The only way to not be a part of the horrible crime is to discover the truth and to pursue it and let the chips fall wherever they land. And that's what I set out to do. The smaller massacres, the murders of 1 and 2 and 3 people at a time, allowed you to evade the truth of what you were involved in. When you murder a village of 500 people, or you know that a village of 500 people has been murdered in one afternoon, in one morning, it's pretty tough to evade the reality of that and the implications of that. One of my friends, when he told me about it, said, "You know, it was this Nazi kind of thing." And that's exactly right. It was this Nazi kind of thing. And we didn't go there to be Nazis. At least none of the people I knew went there to be Nazis. I didn't go there to be a Nazi.
News of the massacre spread a wave of horror around the world. In America, initial incredulity turned quickly to shame and national anguish. As the inquiries and trials began, the men of Charlie Company emerged to public scrutiny. Sergeant David Mitchell, accused of shooting people at the ditch site in My Lai.
But I'm not guilty.
Charlie Company's commanding officer, Captain Ernest Medina.
I can further say that I did not see any slaughter at My Lai 4 that day, and none was reported to me. And I'll further state that I did not order any massacre at My Lai 4.
Lieutenant William Calley, originally charged with 109 murders. Calley came to embody the issues at the heart of the case. His defense, that he was only following orders, evoked disturbing comparisons with the Nazis at Nuremberg. Meanwhile, Army investigators returned to My Lai as part of a massive inquiry which was to put the facts of the massacre beyond dispute. The original list of charges drawn up by the Army's Criminal Investigation Department left no doubt about the nature of Charlie Company's operations in My Lai.
Based on the original documents that we received as a result of our investigations, it was a massacre. It was a violation of all the rules of land warfare that I've ever known in my life, because it was just cold-blooded killing of people who appeared to be defenseless civilians.
But the prosecutors misjudged public opinion. Attitudes to Calley in particular reflected a growing hostility to the prosecution of My Lai veterans.
All I can say is thank you all very much, each and every one of you that has supported me, and also those that are supporting the men still over in Vietnam and the United States Army. Thank you very much.
There was a change in the public attitude. And now they say, wait a minute, you shouldn't be prosecuting soldiers for just carrying out their duties. All of a sudden, the public sentiment had swung the other direction. And when Calley's sentence was announced, his conviction and sentence was announced, there was an outcry.
Of the 46 men who were seriously investigated for crimes at My Lai, William Calley was the only man ever convicted. Today, Calley runs a jewelry shop in Columbus, Georgia. He does not give interviews about My Lai. At his trial, these were his last words of explanation to his judges.
If I have committed a crime, the only crime that I have committed is in judgment of my values. Apparently, I valued my troops' lives more than I did that of the enemy. When my troops were getting massacred and mauled by an enemy I couldn't see, I couldn't feel, and I couldn't touch, that nobody in the military system ever described as anything other than communism. They didn't give it a race, they didn't give it a sex, they didn't give it an age. They never let me believe it was just a philosophy in a man's mind. And that was my enemy out there. And then when it became between me and that enemy, I had to value the lives of my troops. And I feel that is the only crime I have committed.
William Calley served only 3 days in jail before being released by President Nixon into house arrest pending appeal. 3 years after his original life sentence, he was released on parole, a free man.
Nhớ biết suy nghĩ cho nên dò đây. Nhớ biết suy nghĩ ngủ không được. Nhà có một mình vất vả đó rồi không biết nhà ở đó có đồ suy nghĩ miết. Buồn rầu miết. Nên dò đây chứ. Cam thù lắm chứ không tha thứ đâu. Không tha thứ. Phải cháy cho thâu chứ sống là cam thù lắm. Cứ trẻ con mới lớn dày mà nó giết thịt trân. Còn đương bố vậy nó cũng giết thịt trân mà làm sao mà không cam thù. Cam thù lắm. Và mẹ già đó, 30 tuổi, 80 tuổi mà cũng ra chỗ đó nằm giờ chết. Cam thù.
I wish I could bring them back, but I can't. I'd ask for their forgiveness, but the damage was already done. When we went in there with a purpose. And deep down, we felt what we were doing was right. But after it was over, everyone knew it was wrong. And the damage was already done. It was too late.
Tôi thưa có cô, nếu là cái người dân vô tội thì đừng có bán người dân vô tội. Còn cái người nào mà kẻ thù với nó thì nó giết. Người dân không quan. Chứ cái này, đương bưng chén cơm ăn mà cũng phải đành mà cháy. Đương ngậm cái củ trong miệng cũng đành cháy. Người như vậy mà hiếp dâm rồi rạc cửa mình như vậy lên. Nó cam thù biết là bốn kế. Người dân vô tội không có cái gì hết. Với nó người dân đối xử với người Mỹ mà hình dũng vậy, nó không bán phá, giết sạch, đốt sạch, cũng ôm bụng mà chịu. Đây, đồng bộ tôi là cam thù, còn sống sót người nào là cam thù, những người Mỹ giết người dân vô tội, toàn óc.
How can you forgive?